Hey everybody, welcome back. Today I'll be talking about some of the types of locks we'll encounter and give a very brief explanation of how each one operates inside. I have see-through examples of most of these type of locks to share with you, but I don't have any diagrams or fancy animations to show the lock in motion. If you would like to learn more about how the locks work on the inside, there's a lot of information about each kind of lock on the internet. First, we have warded locks. These are an older design that used fixed obstacles called wards inside the mechanism. A correct key has slots or shapes that bypass the wards and turn the bolt. They're common on antique furniture, simple padlocks, and old doors. Simple but limited in security by modern standards. Next, we have wafer locks. These are often found in desks, file cabinets, and some car locks. They use flat slotted pieces called wafers instead of wards. A key's profile pushes the wafers into the correct position so the central cam or plug can turn. They're very common where compactness matters, and they can be of single or multi-wafer designs. Next, we have the pin and tumbler lock. These are the standard workhorse, simple, common, and everywhere. Inside a cylindrical plug sits a vertical stack of pins. Each stack has a driver pin and a key pin pushed by springs. A correct key lifts each key pin so that the boundary between the key and driver pins line up, letting the plug rotate and lock open. Different keys have different shape cut depths to position the pins. Some locks have different shaped pins that add another layer of security as they are harder to pick. These locks are usually simple, robust, and widely used in residential and commercial cylinders. Next up, we have tubular locks. These have pins arranged in a circle, and the key is a hollow cylinder with cuts on its outer edge. When the cuts match the pin depths around the ring, the center plug can rotate. You'll see these on vending machines, certain bike locks, and some electronic equipment. Next, we have dimple locks. These are a similar idea as pin and tumbler, but the action is sideways. The key has dimples punched into a flat blade. Those dimples lift the pins that sit perpendicular to a traditional pin stack. Dimple cylinders can offer compact keyways and are popular in higher-end residential and some commercial locks. Lastly, we have disc detainers. These locks don't have wards, wafers, or pins. They use a series of rotating metal discs with notches cut in them called gates. A key rotates each disc to the correct angle so all the gates line up and allow a sidebar to drop or slide into place. Then the plug can turn. They're common in high security cylinders, bicycle locks, and some safes. There are many other types of locks available. Some use magnets, codes, combinations, and electronics, and other higher security and proprietary systems in their mechanisms. Then there are all the various and odd locks. There are simply too many unique designs in the world to catalog, and I don't have any experience with any of them anyway. Maybe someday I'll try working with the unique, weird, and more advanced locks, but I'd like to focus on the basics for now. In regard to the materials and construction used in locks, the components vary, but most are made of brass, hardened steel, and various alloys. High-stress parts, like bolts, often use hardened steel or specialized inserts. Manufacturers also add mushroom or spool-shaped pins, reinforced housings, or anti-drill plates to increase resistance to forced entry. So that's your brief introduction to some of the basic types of locks. Each of these locks should eventually get their own episode that will go over them more in depth. Hopefully they will include diagrams and cutaway models so you can actually see how the pieces of the lock move inside. Hopefully I'll also manage to get a camera that can actually zoom in on things. Anyway, thanks for watching, and remember, learning how things work is great, but using that knowledge to open things that you don't own is illegal, so only pick or bypass locks that you own. If you like this extremely brief overview, hit like and subscribe. Until next time, take care.